Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Ferrer, your professor. Hello class, good afternoon. Happy New Year everyone. We're back for the next session of our video. Our topic this afternoon is on the population of Europe, Africa, and Oceania. Let's start with the population in Europe. First, we have the Northern Europe. People in the Northern Europe includes those in the countries of the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Scandinavia. The United Kingdom, of course, includes countries of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, while the Scandinavia includes Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. Now let's proceed with the population density and distribution. United Kingdom has a total population of 60 million with a density of 635 people per square mile, while Scandinavia is much less densely populated. This is because of smaller population and they have larger land area. On the other hand, London is the largest city of the region and has about 7 million people. It is a multicultural city with people from all over the world. Now for Western Europe, the people in the Western Europe includes those from the countries of France, the Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, Germany, and Austria. Northern and Western Europe were once a source of many immigrants to the United States, but now they are a destination of many immigrants from Eastern Europe and Russia, the Middle East, and North Africa. While population density and distribution in Western Europe is the most densely populated portion of Europe. It's a fertile land, many rivers, trade, and manufacturing have made Western Europe a center for population for hundreds of years. And the Netherlands and Belgium have the highest density numbers. That is because of their small size. When you check the map, you will find there that Netherlands and Belgium are really of small size. On the other hand, Germany is the most populated country in Europe with over 80 million people, while Western Europe is highly urbanized with many large cities, with Paris being one of the most important politically and culturally. Now let's move to the Southern Europe. This includes countries like Italy, Spain, Andorra, Greece, and Portugal. People in this region can trace their origins back thousands of years. As to population density and distribution, Italy, with 58 million people and a density of about 50 per square mile, is the most populated country of the region. It is also home to two small countries within its borders, such as Vatican City and San Marino. While on the other hand, the population of Spain is concentrated along the coastlines in major industrial areas such as Madrid, while the cities of Rome and Athens are home to many important historical sites and are now commercial and tourism centers. Now let's proceed to the Eastern Europe. Most Eastern Europeans are Slavic people who can trace their roots back to parts of Asia. Even though they are all Slavic, they are different branches of the Slavic people and have adopted different religions. So this has made for a history of tension and conflicts, especially on the Balkan Peninsula. Regarding their population density and distribution, the population and density in Eastern Europe, like most places, is determined by physical geography. Areas in the north have fertile flatlands and water resources, and so they have high populations. While Ukraine is the most populous country with 47.1 million residents. The southern part of Eastern Europe has many mountains and less fertile, and so population densities are not as high as that of those in Ukraine. The control of the Soviet Union over these countries has caused this area to develop more slowly than Western Europe, and also have caused many people to leave the area, especially since the fall of communism. But today, most people live in or near the large cities. So to summarize it, the total population in Europe, 8%, they comprises 8% of the world's population, or equivalent to 575 million people, including European, Russia, and Turkey, but excluding Transcaucasus. And Germany has the largest population, around 81.2 million people, or 14% of the total population of Europe. They have in Europe what they call the blue banana. It has the heaviest population density. It is actually a swath running from northern Italy through the Rhineland and Benelux and into the United Kingdom. It was called the blue banana because blue is one of the European Union's colors, and the area is shaped like a banana. Their population also is considered as diasporic, just because approximately 3 to 4% of the population is non-European in origin. Examples, Romania is below 10 million, primarily found in Central Europe and the Balkans, but they are being dispersed throughout Europe. And the Turks, who are not in Turkey, around 5 million, primarily in German-speaking countries. And in the North Africans, the Berbers and the Arabs, about 5 million, primarily in France, Spain, the Netherlands, Italy, and Sweden. Okay, so we are done with the population in Europe. Now let's move with the African's population distribution. You are familiar with the Sahara. So the Sahara Desert stretches across the width of northern Africa for 3,500,000 square miles. And it covers 1/3 of the African continent, where the climate is arid and very hot with very little rainfall. The average daily temperature in the area is over 100 degrees. And the Sahara is covered with sand dunes, rocky hills, and it stretches of gravel that continue for miles and miles. And there is very little water or vegetation in the region. So let's talk about the impact of the Sahara, on the population. So very few people live in the Sahara region because it is too hot and there is no water. It is considered one of the harshest places on earth to live. The population is actually very low. There are no jobs in the Sahara because there are no cities. And you cannot farm there because of lack of vegetation and water. And there are some nomadic herders in the region that are considered to be dangerous. And travel is very difficult because of the extreme heat. So the nomads use camels, but majority of people cross the Sahara by plane today. Then another is the Sahel. The Sahel is a strip of dry grassland that is located south of the Sahara. It is a dry, semi-arid region that is slowly turning into desert. It gets more rainfall than the desert, but still receives very little rainfall, ranging from 6 to 20 inches. The Sahel is relatively flat with few mountains and hills, and vegetation in the area is sparse, where grasses and shrubs are unevenly distributed in this area. So how this Sahel made an impact on the population? People have tried to live here, but generations of overgrazing and desertification have caused soil erosion. Most of the population has migrated to the cities due to desertification, to drought, and famine. Farming and raising livestock in the Sahel have pretty much ended because of desertification. And there is not a lot of travel in this region because of the climate. So people have to walk for many miles just to get water in this area. Then another is the savanna. The African savanna is located near the equator and it covers almost half of Africa. The savanna is a hot and dry grassland that has both dry and rainy seasons. The area receives enough rain to support drought-resistant undergrowth, but not enough to support forest-type vegetation. And grasses are tall and thick, while trees are short and scattered. As to the impact of savanna on the population, most people live in villages along rivers so that they have access to water. So farming is good here, but only if there is good rainfall. And grasses and grains like wheat, oats, and sorghum grow in the region. The soil is fertile, but disease-carrying insects like the tsetse fly often make farming difficult. Mining and raising livestock are also important jobs in the region. Roads are being built to connect the major urban areas in here, but unfortunately, this is destroying the natural habitat of the wildlife. Africa has its own tropical rainforest. This is located along the central coast of Africa near the equator. It lies in the Congo River Basin that touches 37 countries in Africa. The rainforest has a hot, humid climate, and The annual rainfall is over 70 inches of rain. Trees are so thick and tall that sunlight never reaches the forest floor and the rainforest. No? And the trees grow hundreds of feet tall. Though the question is how the rainforest made an impact on the population. The rainforest provides food and water for over 75 million people. And jobs are found in agriculture, in mining, and the timber industry in this region. All of these things have led to deforestation of the rainforest. And the roads are poorly maintained, so traveling is difficult in this area. So that would be for the population in Africa. Now let's move with the Oceania. So what is this Oceania? Oceania is a region made up of thousands of islands throughout the Central and South Pacific Ocean. It includes Australia, which is the smallest continent in terms of total land area. Oceania is dominated by the nation of Australia, and the other two major land masses of Oceania are the countries of New Zealand and the western half of the island of New Guinea, which is made up of the nation of Papua New Guinea. Oceania also includes three island regions: Melanesia, Micronesia, and Polynesia, including the United States state of Hawaii. All of these island nations are located in the Pacific Ocean. Now let's have the population patterns in Australia and New Zealand. Both countries have multicultural communities. About 2% of Australia's population is Aborigine, and about 7% of New Zealand is Maori. While most Australians live along the mild and fertile southern, eastern, and southwestern coast, but most people that live in New Zealand lived on the northern island. So that would be all, class, for this topic. And for your activity, compare the population density of Europe, Africa, and Oceania with that of the Philippines. Explain why these countries experiences this population density. Again, thank you for watching this video. See you on the next video.